You know how once in a while you read something, you're like, no way. Like, that's just, it's impossible, right?
What is it?
Well, I saw this morning on LinkedIn, and autism is now more common than green eyes. There are more people with autism than green eyes.
That is just weird.
In the United States. It is, yeah. I mean, I had to read it like 4 or 5 times and go, really? Like, that's true?
Yeah, that's really strange.
So strange. But, like, you know, because the latest, the guidance rates came out from the CDC a week and a half ago, there's going to start being these comparisons. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Of like, and so it's just going to keep. We're getting a concert of Hickory Dickory Dock in the background. Cal is home today because wasn't feeling great. All right, real quick before we get on to the green eyes thing and a bunch of other things, we got to thank Aspire Nutrition, which is powering Cal's little autism tummy with billions and billions of strains of probiotics. You were just talking yesterday about how impressed you are with his, like, he used to grab his tummy and go, hurt tummy, hurt tummy. It's been forever.
We took him to the hospital before for it, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, he has not complained about his tummy hurting in a long time. And then I do like that I am able to give him the multivitamin at night with dinner because he's never, ever getting all those nutrients. So.
Yeah. We should probably be careful how much we say because...
He's listening.
Yeah.
He's here today because his molars are coming in.
Anyway, you could see the Aspire nutrition products that we take, and now the whole family's on them. The kids, I mean, they're just it's really cool stuff, and we love the company because they had a child who's autistic, and then they got to work on probiotics and nutrients. So it's been really awesome for us. You can see the link at dailyautism.com. All the products that we take from Aspire Nutrition. Also, as we publish this episode on the 3rd of April, it's Monday. Tracy Slepcevic's new book, Warrior Mom, comes out tomorrow in paperback on the 4th. It is available everywhere you get books, warriormom.org. We're going to have Tracy on the show end of this week, early next week. But that book has come out. I know that this has been, probably maybe one of the most meaningful things that she's ever done. And really great story. warriormom.org. Like I said, you can pre-order now if you do that today. But effective tomorrow, that paper book is out. So wherever you buy books, warriormom.org. Yeah, green eyes. I actually have green eyes.
I know. I was going to say that.
So part of this was like, I was like, really? Like I'm becoming more rare as the day goes on or as life goes on. I'm more rare now because there's so many other people with other things.
I'm going to start looking at everyone's eyes.
Yeah, well, you know what? You got to be careful. Like, so I'm like researching that stuff, right? And then there's all this research, but I couldn't go down that rabbit hole this morning. It's just too much going on. There's all this research. I just read headlines, which you got to be really careful about, like what eye color mean to autism.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't do that right now. That's like maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. But that's another rabbit hole for another day. But there's some what looks to be like pretty interesting research about your eye color and autism and what certain eye color and autism might mean. It just whatever. I was like, I can't do this right now.
Wow.
But crazy headline. I thought, of just like, yeah, like when you put it that way, and I kind of love that. Like I love that there's those comparisons because it makes it easier, I think, for people to understand. Rather than just saying the rates have doubled or tripled since 2000. I mean, whatever it is. I don't know that those numbers are accurate, but it's hard for people to like think back 22, 23 years.
Right.
But when you're just like, hey, when you go out, like to the mall or the movie theater or your kid's school or whatever, you will see more autistic kids than you will kids with green eyes.
Yeah, that's a crazy comparison.
Yeah, but I love that kind of lifestyle, like real world example stuff.
Right.
Because people can connect to that stuff a lot easier than all of these other facts and figures and percentages and ratios. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that stuff kind of drives, like I hate math. So I'd rather hear the story.
Right.
Rather than the numbers.
Yeah.
Right? More autism than green eyes. I'm like, okay, I can attach to that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I put out the latest autism LinkedIn newsletter over the weekend. I was really trying to find like some positive stories because I don't know, man. The world's in a challenging spot. Special needs families are just, I don't know. We talk to people and so many people are getting crushed now with inflation and people are losing jobs because how do you balance, having a 40-hour or more hour a week career and also taking care of your child who has autism? I mean, it's impossible in so many ways. Found this great story out of Florida, north of here. a child went missing, and that's like everybody starts running to the water, right, because of the elopement.
Right.
But they have this specialty, and I shame on me, I don't have the name of the police department here, but I did post it on my LinkedIn channel. You can go to dailyautism.com and link to all the socials. But they have this dog that's like really good at finding missing kids, like special training and everything like that. Bam! They set this dog loose, found him in the woods.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's fine. I mean, they got him back, reunited with the parents.
And the kid was autistic.
Oh yeah. That's
Wow.
why I put it in there.
Wow.
But yeah, so I don't know. Some days you just need like these good stories, right? Like,
yeah, that's great.
because we worry about that.
Oh, that's my biggest fear.
What happened to you this morning at 4:00 in the morning?
Yeah, so we have gates around our house, so he does not have free range to the house.
Our
and I
house-
always worry about the water. So we have top locks for the water. We have a pool gate. I check all this stuff a million times throughout the day.
It's like it's it's easier to break in our house than break out. Like that's
Funny because I had a handyman here like 2 weeks ago, and he's like, "How do I get out of here?"
Yeah, it's yeah. First off, the inside of the house looks. I always say it looks like a Chuck E. Cheese exploded, just with ball pits and mats and all the stuff, trampolines. But getting out of here is a little bit tricky. I've actually had to go outside before to do something, and I said I'll just do it later because I don't want to go through the process of getting out of the house.
Because we have top locks on the door, which as he gets older, I'm going to have to keep raising, but they're necessary. I mean, with the kids eloping, I mean, he elopes from his classroom even,
Oh, yeah. It's really scary. I mean, we've said it before, but I just say it so people can understand it. I mean, it's just the drowning's, number one cause of death for young kids with autism. It's just those are the numbers, so.
Yeah, so this morning I woke up and I saw the gate to the kitchen open. And I jumped out of bed and I'm like, it's wide open.
Yeah.
I closed it when I went to bed. So one of the kids must have got up and came in the kitchen and it was wide open.
Kind of like a sleepwalk thing, maybe?
I don't know if it was Tyler late at night before he went to sleep and we were already sleeping because he's a teenage boy, or one of the kids did it in the middle of the night, which that really scares me, sleepwalking. Because Austin talks in her sleep.
I know.
But anyways, I immediately jumped out of bed and went to check him.
Yeah, but then you're like, you still I mean, these are just kids doing kids things, It's hard to, when our eyes roll open, no matter like you, 3:45 in this morning, the first thing is Cal, autism, danger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're living in that angst, that I mean, I'll just call it what it is. It's fear. I mean, we're scared. But
24 hours a day is his safety.
Exactly. But with a kid, a young child, you don't want that to be their thing because you want them to have a childhood, you want to have fun and not worry as soon as they wake up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We always talk about that balance. Like, how do we be great special needs parents, and then how do we be great non-special needs parents?
Yeah.
Because there's 4 other kids that need that. It's
tough.
And
so a lot of our life has changed. Like, we used to go out to eat on the weekends with the kids. We used to take them places. And with autism, it's just limiting our ability to be able to go out anymore, especially to restaurants and stuff. So, unfortunately, I'm like, one of the kids said the other day, "What are we doing this weekend?" And I'm like, "You know what we're doing this weekend." And he's like, "The beach or the pool?" And I'm like, "Yep."
Sadly, and, because we always say this is fun, sad, real. And we did have some really fun parts of our weekend, too. But sadly, I've gotten used to that. I never thought I'd get used to that part of not being as social, not going out with other people, not going to breakfast, that was like a big part of what we did as a big family,
Yeah, and our kids miss it.
Miss it. I miss it. I actually can't believe I've gotten used to it. I thought to myself, and I think part of it too is I don't know that I ever believed it was going to be permanent, which it inevitably now is.
And now it's getting harder, so it's more reason to stay home.
But I'm like, damn, I don't even think about it anymore. It's just, but that's the deal. I mean, you they lay the cards down. You got your cards. So
he knows that we're doing this, so he's purposely being louder.
Yeah, he saw us go and sit in we have this makeshift studio, and so he sees the microphones, and you're just talking different when you're doing this, right? It's just, and so he was kind of laughing a little bit, what's that when they do that?
And now he's like, I'm just gonna be as loud as I can be.
Great picture from the weekend yesterday. We had some great pool days here. And there's a great picture we got yesterday, and you can go to dailyautism.com. I know for sure it's on our Facebook page. The link is there at dailyautism.com. Cal does this thing where he looks down, he lays on the pool deck and looks into the pool, probably an inch from the water, but then curves his head up, and it's looking at his reflection, but balancing it with the bottom of the pool. Mm-hmm. we're always kind of like, to us, he sees the world upside down, but he's trying to see the way. But for us, it's like we're trying to see the way he sees the world.
Right.
I thought it was a pretty good. I thought it was a
thing quite a bit.
Pretty good image of. You could put a lot of captions to that. Anyway, I thought it was worth it for a lot of people to see. He does it a lot.
Well, I didn't even see this, but somebody wrote on the post this morning, there's a heart in the water.
Oh, really?
And they said, what a gentle soul. That
Wow.
even the heart in the water describes such a gentle soul.
People are so good at seeing, we're so close to it and so locked in.
Yeah.
But we'll do this all the time. We'll put like a video up or a picture or something, and then people will write something. I'm like, damn, you're right. Like,
Yeah, I know. I'm like, how did she see that? But it's right there. It's clear as day.
Well, we just have our like hard set, like what we think, because we're doing it, like you said, 24 hours a day. Sometimes it's like we can't sit back and enjoy or find other things in the videos and stuff. And so people will write things, and I'm like, oh, man, you're right. That's awesome.
Yeah, which is cool.
Really cool.
And he is. He's a very sweet boy. It is a gentle soul.
He is. Yeah, he is. We had, like I said, just a great weekend at the pool, but Sunday, for whatever reason, just was tough for him. And you like Saturday, I think we were like, wow, he's like locked into being happy and everything. And Sunday, it just sort of changed, and it was very unbalanced and up and down. And I think the other kids kind of picked up on that, and they're like, we're out of here. They went to play with their friends and did all their sports and everything, which is awesome.
Well, and the whole going out to eat and stuff. It's like, you guys know if you want to do something, you have to plan stuff with your friends, which they're very good about. So they each plan stuff and they go in their own directions, or they're just outside in the neighborhood playing with the kids, which is great. I mean, we're so lucky living in Florida, being able to have the pool and the beach, and now all the tourists are here. You can't even go to the beach.
No, a couple of our kids tried to go somewhere with their friends yesterday, their parents. They said, well, we drove around for an hour. We couldn't find a parking space. I'm like, yeah, well.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but, it's still kind of cold, chilly, rainy in other parts of the country, and it's spring break time for a lot of the Midwest at least, and everybody comes down here, so it's kind of cool. It's cool for them that they can escape the miserable weather.
Yeah.
And come down here, but, we tell people, like, that's why we live here. That's why we really couldn't explore moving, even though at times we probably, we're leaning that way. But 330 days of sunshine a year, and for him, because he's a seeker and avoider, so to want to be outside, to want to be by water, it's just good. It's good for your immune system. I think it's good for your soul. I think it's good for us, and his siblings to be able to spend time with him outside and get exercise and things like that. So a lot of kids, I was thinking about that the other day, like, if we, at times we've lived, even when we lived in Las Vegas, you can't be outside all the time there.
Yeah,
it's
there's
tough.
windstorms, and then it does get cold there.
And then you get the monsoon season, which is crazy. Obviously DC with the hard winter, Indianapolis, unbelievable winter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just it's tough. You have to redesign your life, everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like geography, career, everything. It's when people tell me it's overwhelming, I'm like, apologies to the word overwhelming, because it's not even, it's so beyond that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, how many people have you talked to in the autism world that like one of the parents have had to completely change their career, and usually like one parent ends up not working and you have to redesign everything.
I was reading about the side hustle culture of special needs parents, and it's over 50% now. Special needs families have to have side hustles. Now, that could be like starting your own, like business obviously on the side, but it could also be, I don't know, driving for Uber or maybe like Amazon, part-time or something like that. But, the fact that, and I know we've talked about this on another episode, but the price tag for raising a special needs child on average in the U.S. is over $2 million, up to 18. I think it's like $2.6 million. I say that to people, and they're like, well, what's the difference? And I'm like, oh, I mean, you could look at our bank statements and everything. I mean, just the things like the water safety tools, the security for home, like we've talked about. I mean, locks and
special
doors,
seats and high chairs.
High chairs, floats, Play-Doh, bite toys, basically, like we said, financing a Chuck E. Cheese because you need these special things to...
Yeah, diapers and clothing and...
Yeah, like
everybody
gets diapers like up until about what, 2.5, 2?
Yeah.
Like everybody understands that. Well, we're at almost 6.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
know.
it's, it's hard to factor that into the budget for years and years, over half a decade. So adds up quick, becomes challenges and things like that. And so you just, when you read some of these things, it's just like, wow, yeah, here we are. You know what I mean? Here we are.
Well, and just finding stuff that he likes, like Play-Doh. I mean, how much have we spent on Play-Doh?
Yeah, I actually have a video. I think it's on our TikTok page, which, again, you can link to from dailyautism.com. I did like a quick kind of a surveillance of our living room.
Mm-hmm.
People love it. It's got like almost 70,000 views, which I know that's not a huge number, but I don't know, 70,000 people that wanted to see what our living room looked like with all of with all of the gear and apparatus for autism. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. So you can see that there at dailyautism.com. If we're not connected on the socials, Facebook's there, Instagram's there, email's there, TikTok's there. I believe my LinkedIn is there, which I'm super active on. I put out a LinkedIn newsletter a couple times a week, which does really well. I've actually met some really cool people on that. And, it's just this community, and I know that word is so overused, but since it is so life-changing, like you said, people tend to kind of like, I don't know, form, I wouldn't say a real relationship because most of the time you never meet in person, but a relationship of authenticity where you're going, I really get this person because I get what's going on outside of things like work or social life. I get what's happening behind the closed doors, whether it be 7 at night, 2 in the morning, noon. We know that there are things that are happening, and it's just...
Yeah, the person's drained. You know they're tired.
Yeah.
You know that the night's not over,
Ever.
Yeah.
I don't
Even last night, like we had a decent day yesterday outside, and then nighttime came, and I'm like, oh my God, when's he gonna go to bed?
Hey, we had a great day yesterday.
I know.
Look,
great weekend, actually.
It was awesome.
You just don't know when the night's gonna end.
Right.
And then you're tired.
But, I mean, the highlight of the weekend was we just got a Kegerator. So listen, some special needs parents need a 12-pack. We got a Kegerator. There's a keg in our garage. We need our moments. I still want to be cool and fun. I want to pretend I'm like Jimmy Buffett or Kenny Chesney once in a while. I still want that. You want that too.
Well, and it is harder to leave the house, like we said. So, I mean, sometimes you just want to draft beer.
Now it's impossible to leave the house. We've actually walked out to go somewhere, and we looked at the Kegerator and said, forget it, we're just staying here. So.
It is pretty awesome, though. I've never had a Kegerator in my life.
We're now looking for Kegerator sponsors for the ad partners for the podcast.
Yeah, so right now we have a keg of Bud Light, but we typically drink Busch Light.
Yep. Busch.
Yes, which was very hard to find. You have to special order it.
I know. Special ordering the Busch Light is weird. I don't get that. Yeah. So I know I was funny. I was running through so many autism podcasts over the weekend. I get a lot of people that reach out and send me links to their podcast, which is awesome. And I was going through so many, and I listened to like 5 or 6 yesterday. And for whatever reason, it was just heavy stuff. It was just, except for one. One was really upbeat and cool. The other ones were like great quality, but I don't know. And sometimes we're heavy. Like, I get it. I think the last one we did before this, we kind of were like, man, it's getting heavy over here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And anyway, I wasn't having it. I'm like, it's too much. And so, but then I found this one, and it was really light and upbeat. It's these 2 moms, and that was cool. But when I was in the middle of the other ones, I was like, yeah, I'm going to hit that Kegerator today a couple times. And it was 86 degrees yesterday, so we were floating in the pool, and that's Cal's happy place usually. But like you said, his molars are coming in. He's very uncomfortable with his teeth.
Yes.
And so he was just having, when he feels that pain, he won't tell us, but he will start hitting himself sometimes.
Yeah, and you can just tell he's a little off.
Yeah.
And just to add to it, he got stung by a bee for the first time.
Yeah. How did we wait so long for this?
I don't know. He's like a bee whisperer, okay? Like, he picks them up out of the pool by their wings, and he never gets stung. And he's been doing this for years, and obviously we try to keep him away from the bees. But apparently there was a dead one.
He loves animals, by the way, and insects.
And bugs, yeah. So tell him about the bee.
Well,
story.
So there was a bee that landed in the pool, and he couldn't get out, and I found him, and he was already gone. All right, R.I.P. bee. I save him whenever I can. Like, whenever, if a lizard falls in, we save it. If a bee, we save it all. Got to this guy late, so I put him on the pool deck. Well, I don't know. I read this thing where
And you forgot about it, I guess.
yeah, I
Because
forgot
then
about
he came out later. Yeah.
because Cal wasn't out for a minute. Well, I read this thing like if you kill a bee or you grab a bee that's dead, bees put out this. I don't know if it's a sound or a scent or something. Look, I only read like 2 articles on this. I'm not, I don't have my. I'm
You're not a bee expert?
Yeah, I don't have my APA site sources ready to go on this. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'll just tell you, I read this. Apparently, the other bees. I don't know if these are like family bees or friend bees or neighbor bees. Well, if you go mess with the bee and it puts out this signal, they will come and sting you.
Yeah. So that's what happened.
He went over and played with this. He's like picking it up on a leaf. And then he goes, help, help, bee, help. And he's like smacking his leg. He goes, a bee. And a bee came over and stung him.
Yeah. And he didn't cry or anything, but he did very, very well.
I have seen kids his age, like other friends who have kids, get stung by a bee, and it like ruins their week. I've seen these kids full on. I'm not talking about special needs kids.
Yeah.
Just kids, okay? Have a full on meltdown, scream and cry. Sometimes the parents have to take them away from where they are. And then like they're not right the whole week. He felt the pain. He ran over. He did say, Mom, help, Mom, help.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, 15 minutes later, and if you would have asked me to like bet money, even a lot of money, that would have been a major thing, I would have.
Yeah, I know.
And for whatever reason, he was just able to move on.
Yeah, it was good.
Half of me was like, did that distract him from his molars coming in? And I don't know. Again, I'm just, so much of what this is just throwing things out there and just guessing.
It is a guessing game.
But I thought that was kind of a cool, not cool. I'm not having to get stung by a bee, but I was like, I can't believe we were there to see it.
And it handled him.
And and his reaction, he loves bees. I hope he'll still love them, but he's one of these kids. And you do read about this autism. They do have kind of enhanced relationships with animals over humans.
Yeah, I actually just posted something about that.
Yeah, it's actually, the research is becoming nearly undeniable, but that they look at fostering relationships with animals and insects more than humans.
Yeah.
So
well, our dog is very, very good with him.
Yeah.
We have a golden retriever.
Yeah,
and he lets Cal pull on him and do this and that. And
horses and donkeys.
He knows, yeah.
Horses and donkeys, they love them.
Well, there's horse therapy.
Yeah, but
Which
there's also
I'm
donkey therapy now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm actually interested in the horse therapy, but I don't think he needs to be bigger.
Yeah, well, we're not buying a horse. Is that what that means?
No. You can get it through insurance. And
you get the horse through insurance?
The therapy.
Oh, so you go somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see our neighbor's face if we just put a horse in the backyard. Who's that? It's Cal's buddy. It's his therapy. He's gonna
you don't get the horse.
He's going to be staying with us for a while.
Oh, my gosh.
Feel free to throw over some produce at any time. Feed him. What do they eat, carrots?
I think so.
Yeah.
A little bit about our living room. We have a trampoline in there. We have a squeezer thing that he can go through. We have tons of different mats and crash mats. And we also have an outdoor playhouse inside. Mm-hmm. This thing came in like 600 pieces. It took me all day. And he likes it.
Yeah, it's it's something that developed over time. Like, we didn't have this great plan, but then we just started adding things. And listen, I think it's a cool room. I think other people think we're weird, but that's okay because he really likes it. It's funny. Do you remember he used to have like anxiety about going into the living room because he thought it was like just not a space for him.
Yeah.
But now he loves it. He's got
loves
all these
it.
different areas and he's very at home, kind of insulated there. The indoor playhouse, which you built entirely on your own pretty much.
Thank God the smell of cedar went away. That was awful.
Yeah.
Since it's supposed to be outside.
We never looked at that
Lord.
on their package. There should be like a cedar warning or any other.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. That thing was in our house, and I'm like, this is disgusting. But, yeah, it went away. That or we got used to it, and other people come over, and it, like, chokes them out, and they're just not saying anything to us, which is probably more likely what it is.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know people come in our house and then leave and then have full-on conversations about their experience.
Or like if the cleaning lady comes or something and there's locks on the outside of the doors, it's like, oh, these people are weird.
We've gotten comments before. It's not many, but we've gotten comments before of people going like, I think you're overdoing it a little with this and that. And it's like,
The doors are locked when everyone's out of the room.
Yeah.
It's just so he can't get in.
We're actually very social and we're all together a lot. Like our kitchen is kind of like headquarters for the family.
Yeah.
So we're all very tight-knit and together, especially at night.
I think it's weird I guess it's common when when parents say that their kids aren't close and their kids don't talk and stuff. I'm like, everyone in our house is close.
Really close. And I think, I don't have another way to, test this. Cal is asking for help. We'll wrap this up here in a second. But I do think that this has kind of made it. We all kind of depend on each other more because we need to.
Yeah,
I would prefer the kids not be helping changing diapers at their age and doing other things. We just need their help, but we're really lucky that they're so, giving with. I mean, they're the best caregivers for him.
And I just think they're really good kids because they know we can't handle anything else. So they're like not going to do anything bad because they know we can't take it.
No, I really got to give credit to sports in general. They've had some great coaches along the way, which I think has really focused them on things like team, how things work, how things don't work, culture. You know what I mean? And I just think that stuff spills over into family. I don't know if you can do anything better for a young kid than getting him involved in some type of, even if it's not physical sports, but some type of competitive aspect where you need. He knows we're doing this, so he's. Just
I know, and he doesn't really need help. I mean,
No.
he knows how to turn on his iPad. He's just like, stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I do want to say one more thing, which we can get to later. With another holiday coming up, it's just
So you're going to say it now, and we're going to get to it later.
fine. I'll just say it now.
No, that's cool. Go ahead. I was just trying to break that down in my head.
We just don't get excited about holidays. I mean, it's just hard to because he's just not excited about it.
No.
Actually, the other day he got in my car and he's like, Valentine's Day is coming. I'm like, no, the next holiday's Easter. No Easter.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
I think anybody that comes to our home or any being that comes into our home, he's not a part. He does not want to be a part of that. He actually loves Halloween.
A lot.
Yeah, but that involves us. He's more in control. He dresses up. He goes to somebody's house. The idea of these reindeer walking on our roof and this guy coming in and he hates the wrapping paper. He hates all of it. That, I think the same thing with Easter. A large rabbit coming into the home.
It scares him.
Yeah, he's not a fan of that. Does not want to wake up and see things that he isn't expecting. The presents are very, for him, it's not good. Easter basket's not good. It's too jarring. It's just too much. I had heard something before this one couple. The husband was like, yeah, he's like, we do 11 months a year prep for Christmas. Like we have to keep it's not tomorrow. It's not the next day, and then when they go to bed, it's not tomorrow. And then eventually it's like, it is tomorrow. And then after that, it won't be the next day.
Yeah.
Just
right.
so that, but it's almost a good way to put it. I think like you have to do prep for all of these things.
Right.
And some of the prep needs to be far and wide, right? It needs to have depth.
Right.
You just can't say it. Like you've got to kind of coach through it. So
it is. It's like coaching.
Like tonight you got to pick up Charlie from flag football practice, and then you've got to get Tyler for work. Well, those are two things that he's not not comfortable, but he's not used to. Usually it's me, but I'm coaching the other two with their flag football, so I'll be at practice, and it's so during the course of this afternoon, it'll have to be like little reminders.
Oh yeah, you can't just do it.
I say like a lot. I noticed. I listened to the other. Gosh, the old radio consultants were killing me on this. I listened to the thing the other day. Why am I saying like so much? I've never done that before in my career.
I don't know.
Isn't
but
it strange?
You don't have a boss, so.
Maybe that's why.
Just like he just started losing teeth. He's lost 2 already, which he does handle really well, and he has one wiggly one on top. But someone said, "Oh, how much did the tooth fairy give him?" I'm like, "We don't do the tooth fairy with him. No. He would not like that."
No, we don't do that.
Yeah, no.
He actually let me pull out his first tooth, and then ever since he's had to pull his own out.
Yeah,
so
he has.
Which he was great, by the way. He was really good. That was awesome.
I think the first one he didn't know. And then once he figured out you were able to pull it, he's like, I'll just do this myself.
I got to take some credit for my teeth pulling skills.
Oh, you're great.
Pretty good.
I do not do any.
I've pulled all of Trey's out, I think, maybe except for 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they
kind of pull out their teeth.
I'm small, and I have little hands.
Yeah.
Your hands are huge. So I think for you might pull out the loose tooth, but you also might pull out a bunch of other ones that aren't ready. And so all
my
of our
hands
kids would
are
look
big
like,
for me, but they're the size of yours.
Now you're wider though.
Yeah.
But I think it's the years of being a hairstylist where you've built up these muscles.
Probably.
So they're big and just tough. You look like a bull rider, like you're holding onto that bull saddle.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. If you pulled out our kids' teeth, our kids would look like they were hockey players.
Oh my God.
Ripping out 4 and 5 at a time. Whereas I'm very precise. I can just go in. It's like radar. I can just go in and immediately get the one tooth. and I pull it out. It's just like just cutting through hot butter. Just whoosh, comes right
You're
out.
very good at it.
Yeah.
You have a special way to grab it, and you're also very gentle, and I'm not gentle.
This is also what happens in like a special needs lifestyle. You start finding awards to give yourself. So I never would have thought about this 5 years ago, but I am kind of a badass when it comes to pulling out teeth.
Yes, you are.
So
I do give you all the credit.
thanks.
And the teeth pulling award.
Yeah, my headstone. There needs to be some real estate on the headstone for that one.
Oh my goodness.
No one pulls out teeth better than this guy.
Yeah, 5 kids, man.
Yeah.
You're like the expert.
All right, you ready to wrap it up and do our thing?
Yes.
We've got an afternoon of what are we going to do?
We have a lot to do.
We have a lot to do.
Yep.
Cal's home. Therapy's coming at 1:30.
Yep.
You've got doctor's appointments with the kids.
Yep.
I will be
Lots
here
of
because,
sports.
as many of the special needs parents knows, when your therapist is here, you also have to be here.
Yes. for
Cannot
sure.
leave. So I'll be here. And like we mentioned, sports tonight and this and that and and a workout. Let's get a workout in.
Gotta get a workout in.
Get our podcast and social media links at dailyautism.com.